Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. My name is Draygone the Willem Fuzzbottom Jr. and these are some of my patrons. Snow Kieran, Hideru, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. When we last left off, Link decided that, regardless of whether he was trapped as a pink rabbit or not, he should really do the right thing and rescue the maidens who were captured by Aghanim and sent here to the Dark World. These maidens, of course, include Princess Zelda, who may or may not be Link's sister. That was the implication in the original translation of this game anyway. In the original translation, Link's uncle, in his dying breath, was all, "Zelda is your..." and then he died. And it's like, what? Zelda is his what? Sister? That's gotta be it. It's totally sister. That is the popular fan theory anyway. Unfortunately, it turns out that's not really the case, because in the Game Boy Advance version of this game, that translation was changed, and it was changed to something along the lines of Zelda being Link's fate. His fate? That's lame. Here we have this big ol' mystery about the relation between Link and Zelda, and as it turns out, all the mystery is his fate? That's boring and cliche. Mind you, this is a game from 1991 and 92, so I guess from that era, sure, we'll have that kind of cliche. But I really like the original translation better, because I really like the fan theory of Link and Zelda being brother and sister. And in fact, at the end of the last episode, when I was doing that whole dramatic monologue thing, I actually brought that up originally. But then it turned out that I remembered that in this Romhack, their relation is not referenced at all. Instead, this translation, this text change, graphic change Romhack, changes Link's uncle to talk about how Link's sword is a little big for him, or something like that. And when I recorded the first episode of this Let's Play, I didn't pay much attention to that fact, because I was kind of focused on telling my story about this game versus Ocarina of Time, and I didn't want to change subjects. I wanted to try to focus on the one thing that I was talking about. But now that that dialogue change has been brought back to my attention, I kind of want to bring it up. Now, Ryusuta, this is your Romhack, so ultimately what Link's uncle says is up to you. Like, you could totally have Link's uncle say, "Rabbits are birds," and tweet tweet or something. I don't know, I'm just coming with this stuff off the top of my head. Might not make sense, but hey, if you wanted him to say it, that's up to you. But as long as I'm doing this Let's Play, or any Let's Play for that matter, I kind of want to give my thoughts on the games that I'm playing. And my thought on this particular situation is, I still like the original translation better. The whole sense of mystery revolving around Link and Zelda's relation is pretty cool. Do I have room? No. So, that is my thoughts on that situation. No, wait, I had another thought on the situation. In regards to whether Link and Zelda are really related or not, it doesn't have to be spelled out. In fact, it's probably preferred that it's not spelled out. Link's uncle should not say that, "Oh, by the way, Link, Zelda is your sister." Nobody should say that. Because it's a fan theory, and as a fan theory, it would be kind of ruined if you tried making it official. I mean, admittedly, it'd be kind of cool to kind of sneak it in there later on, like when we finally rescue Zelda again, she would be all, "You must save Hyrule, brother." But yeah, even that would be kind of pushing the mystery too far. It is better off being left as a mystery. On that note, I wonder how Zelda would feel if she found out that not only did she have a brother, but her brother is a giant pink rabbit. That said, we're going in here to meet a person. It's not an important person, just some guy who is a bird. Presumably he was turned into a bird by the golden power, as coming into the dark world has that effect on people. Hey, I'll tell you a profitable story if you pay me 20 rupees. How about it? Don't want to hear it. I see. I'm not interested in talking to rabbits who don't have rupees. Okay, so you say the same no message as the grubby man-hand from the last episode. However, he does have a new story to tell, so let's go ahead and read all about it. Ha! Thank you. They say there is a tiny circle of rocks in the lake at the source of the river. I don't know what will happen, but it might be fun to throw something into it. Heh. See you. Well, unfortunately for us, that information is kind of useless, because we already visited that circle of rocks in the last episode, and in fact got a magic spell from that circle of rocks, which may or may not come in handy in the next dungeon, which we are going to be heading to today. Unfortunately, there is one big problem with that dungeon. Ooh, magic. Yay! That problem is, you have to pay money to get into the dungeon. Actually, never mind, that is no longer a problem. Because in order to get into the next dungeon, actually I changed my mind, that still is a problem, because it's lame that you have to pay money in order to progress in the game. You want to know how much money? 110 rupees. Was hoping to dodge that thing. My gosh, that thing hits hard. Yeah, 110 rupees. Good thing I got lucky with those red rupees. Anyway, before we head into the next dungeon, we're coming in here. And we find another person who was transformed by the golden power. That is an unfortunate form. I mean, here he is, turned into a little tree shrub thing, and he's inside where there's no sunlight. I mean, if I had to get turned into some sort of plant, I would have to hope that I was outside so that I can find out what it is like to eat sunlight. I actually feel kind of sorry for this guy, because look at him struggle. He can't get out though, he's firmly rooted into the ground. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? You're new here, aren't you? Did you come here looking for the power of gold? Well, you're too late. It will obey only the first person who touches it. The man who last claimed the power of gold wished for this world. It reflects his heart. Let me think. We're talking about Aghanim, right? Because Aghanim said he had the power of gold. Yes, I came here because of greed for the golden power, and look what happened to me. To restore the golden land, a person worthy of... Hold on a sec, back up a bit. Let's go back to your transformed state for a moment. Because the golden power, the way it works is, when you come into this world, it transforms you in a way that reflects your mind and soul. So like, we had the thief who was turned into a grubby man-hand because 5-finger discount. We had a person who was turned into a ball because he's always changing his mind. And we had this guy who turned into some sort of goblin thing because he's a bully. But what is the situation where you would turn into some sort of tree shrub? Maybe you're a tree hugger? Or maybe you were hoping to come here wishing for a tree house? Anyway, to restore the golden land, a person worthy of the golden power must defeat the man who created this place. Until that time, I am stuck in this bizarre shape. Okay, so this kind of implies that if we do defeat Aghanim, Link will get turned back to normal. If he is worthy, anyway. If he's worthy of the golden power. Well, here's hoping. But what a mischievous thing to leave lying around. The power of gold. Triforce. Oh, we got a name for the power of gold now. That's cool. Alright, I need health. Finally found a wall that I could bash down by running into it. I knew that was possible. Yeah, that's better. Now, if we're able to, we should try to avoid running into everything. Of course, we do have this magic, so worst case scenario, we could use the magic. Took the effort to buy a magic medicine, and it's so that I could use magic. Now then, with that out of the way, let us make our way into... No, you don't. Did you drop anything? I can't tell. Let us make our way into the next dungeon. We have enough money for it. And if we're lucky, we can get... Yeah, that'll do. An extra 10 coins, rupees, will actually be kind of helpful, because I want to kind of look at something. Oh, and even more. This is going so much better than my last attempt at recording this. Sometimes, by the way, I try recording an episode more than once, if an attempt is kind of bad. And let me tell you, the attempt was kind of bad. And so here I am re-recording this. Because I want to make a quality Let's Play here. And speaking of here, you'll notice that we can kind of see Link through this shrubbery, tree stuff going on. Well, keep a close eye, because as soon as we try getting out of here to the right, we're going to be followed. And it's like, at what point do we start getting followed? Oh, and it's right there, apparently. Kiki! Hiya, weird bunny! I'm Kiki the monkey Kiki. I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10 rupees? What will you do? Never give him anything. Kiki. Rumph. I have no reason to talk to you, then. Weirdo. Kiki. Says the talking monkey. I mean, Link might be a pink rabbit, but he's not a talking pink rabbit. Anyway, we can go back in there and get him real easily. And yes, we do actually have to give him the 10 rupees in order to get into the next dungeon. Kiki, good choice. I will accompany you for a while. Kiki. Indeed, he is the key to the next dungeon. Okay, this guy's going to be a problem. Now he's not. There! Threw a bomb into the shrubbery. That's cheating. Alright, here's the dungeon. Kiki, if you give me 100 rupees, I will open the entrance for you. Kiki. What will you do? Try to open it yourself. Kiki. Humph. Do it yourself then, Kiki. Again, we're actually going to have to pay the money if we want to get in here. Assuming that we can't just use a magic spell to get in there. I'm a little curious. We just got this spell. Can we use it? Nope. We're actually going to have to pay that money. So it's a good thing we actually got some extra money on the way here, because, well, since I said no there, going to have to pay him the initial 10 rupees again. This is really dumb. You should never require the player to pay money to progress the game. Money should be for optional stuff only, like equipment and items. I mean, heck, had I not known about this paywall here, I probably would have bought a blue potion, which would have taken all of my money, and then I'd have to grind for quite a bit in order to get this money. Anyway, ask him to open it. Kiki, good choice. Then I get 100 of your rupees. Kiki. And he just leaped off of my head. And now we have entrance to the dungeon. Actually, it's kind of appropriate when you think about it that we need a monkey to get in here, given the outside decor. That said, the monkey relation is pretty much gone on the inside of the dungeon. It might as well not even be a monkey dungeon. Anyway, here is a cool little thing. Now that we are in the dark world, we got a new dungeon theme. Also, I should say it now before I forget. Welcome to Level 1. That's right. This here is the first level of the game. And yeah, I know. We already explored 5 dungeons. How is this the first level of the game? Well, I'll tell you. This is the first level of the game because the game says so. During the end credits, it actually lists off all the dungeons, and yeah, this dungeon is listed as level 1. Apparently, everything up to the battle with Aghanim is basically just a prologue. So that's actually kind of interesting, kind of cool. This is where the game really begins. And unfortunately, this is also where the dungeons get really complicated. You wanna know why I have to record this episode? Because my first time recording this dungeon, I got lost multiple times. And it's like, well dang, this sucks. And so I'm recording this again, knowing full well where I'm supposed to go in order to get through this dungeon. Which is good news for you guys. Alright. So we got a couple of turtles here, and unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about those guys. They are completely immune to everything, including the Quake spell. Although I haven't tried the Good Bee. Let's try the Good Bee real quick. Nope, does not seem to be doing anything besides knocking it around. Which is actually more than anything else has been able to do. So we'll save the bee for now, collect this magic, push this over. Oop. I meant to do that. And we landed on the block. Oh, interesting. Oh, and now we're off the block. Alright. By the way, in the last episode I did some sequence breaking using a glitch to get the magic cape. It's a good thing I did because we got these guys. And not going to do much to actually kill these guys unless it turns out that the Good Bee can help with them. No, the Good Bee seems to be focused on that guy. How unfortunate. Well, it was worth experimenting anyway. Man, that magic cape eats up magic like there's no tomorrow. Like, literally, it's eating it up as though tomorrow is not going to happen. In fact, it eats up magic so fast, it's like the next minute is going to not happen. So let's use all the magic all at once. By the way, there's another key if we use that teleporter. However, going to kind of ignore it for the moment because, well, if I take that path through the teleporter, it'll lead to a shortcut, but can't actually use that shortcut until, well, I get a certain item. Also, didn't need to come out here. We can just push this statue. Get our bomb at the ready, because come over here and we can blow up the floor. As a reminder, if a pit has a background under it, that means it is safe to fall down. And we actually wanted to come here with a key, in fact, because through this locked staircase is another treasure, and an important one. It's the big key. And we really want the big key. And let's get out of here. Again, gonna save that teleport for later. Alright, there's one more place we haven't really gone yet. No, technically two. There is the path leading wherever this is, this way. There's a door up here, but we don't want that door. Nice blocking there, Link. We actually want to head through this door. And here, we'll find another key, and we'll just hop across here. So the implication with this room is this platform right here is on a lower level than, for example, right up here. And this is especially evident if you try using your boomerang, because it goes right over the enemies. Now, let me think here. Yeah. Let's go this way. That could be a problem. Or it might not be. It doesn't collapse nearly fast enough to actually be of a concern. By the way, these enemies that I'm throwing skulls at, your sword cannot touch them from the front. They have this little plate on their head, so if you attack them from the front, you don't damage them. You have to attack them from the side. Alright, got the compass. Could use a little more magic. Don't know how I walked through that. And there goes some more of my magic. And there goes the light. There needs to be a lantern down here. A fire pit or whatever you want to call it. Because it does not last long enough for you to get around the room. I'm betting I don't have enough magic for magic powder. We're gonna try anyway. Nope. If I had enough magic powder, I could sprinkle that enemy and it'll turn into a fairy. Which is pretty dang helpful. Actually, I'm kind of curious if Mr. Goodby could hurt those guys, but probably not. Alright. Do not go through that door. I'm telling myself because I accidentally went through that door on my previous attempt at recording this, and that kind of takes you out of the way. And then we have another dark room with some fire-breathing lizards. Kind of be careful here. Oh, if only I had full health. I would totally laser beam you. Great, now I need 2 hearts. Screw you. I'm kind of letting myself get hit here, not on purpose, but because I want to see what their sprites look like when they shoot fire. Screw it. Come here. Thank you. Alright, there's gonna be treasure right up here. Unfortunately, it's not magic. You know, it occurs to me that you never get magic from chests. It would be kinda handy. I mean, we get bombs and arrows, but no magic. Kinda convenient, by the way, that these fireballs can be seen in the dark. But of course they can be seen in the dark. They're fire! That said, it's kinda weird that they don't illuminate the room. Alright, need that key. I mean, technically we don't. Actually, I'm pretty sure we don't. I don't think. I know what room that I could access now if I wanted, but I don't think there's anything in that room aside from some rupees. So I could completely ignore it if I wanted to. Anyway, we got a big chest now. Just wanted to see if that would trigger. You got the magic hammer! You can drive the wooden stakes down into the ground. You can use it to pound on other things too. Indeed. So this is actually a very important item. We need it in order to defeat the boss of this dungeon. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the first time in this game that you need an item from the dungeon to defeat the boss of the dungeon. I mean, nowadays in Zelda, that's a pretty common thing. You go into a dungeon, you find an item, and then you use the item to kill the boss of the dungeon. But one thing I kind of like about this game is that's not always the case. The first several dungeons, you could just use your sword. Actually, unfortunately, for the Desert Palace and the tower, you had to use your sword. The first palace, where we got the Pendant of Courage, there's a reason why I'm paused, by the way, bear with me. Where we got the Pendant of Courage, those giant statues that we had to kill, we could kill them with a bow and arrow, but it wasn't required. Anyway, I'm paused here because I want to demonstrate that we can finally deal with these guys. Otherwise, you can't do anything with them. I mean, as I demonstrated before, even Mr. B is only able to kind of bounce him around. So now we have a weapon against those guys. This door right here... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this room is optional, but we'll go through it anyway. Can get a little money. Nice that we know we got all our money back. It's kind of an apology for the fact that we had to spend money to get into this dungeon. Alright, I need to jump down there. And unfortunately those guys are in the way. Well, there's only one thing to do. That. It'll take a few hits, but it'll kill him eventually. Can you die before those items disappear? No, that's unfortunate. You know, in hindsight, could have sent Mr. B after them. You know what? Screw it. He's probably down to one hit, but... Go, B. Go, B. That was so much smarter. Anyway... if we needed to, we could push this out of the way to backtrack. This leads to the walkway with a bombable floor. But we actually want to go... this way, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Come to think of it, had I not used that key to get into the room with the rupees, I could have totally just skipped half of this dungeon. Do we have the map yet? No? Well, right now we're heading to where that teleporter was, and had I not used up that key, we could have just ignored the teleporter path and just make our way towards the boss of the dungeon. However, I want to explore the whole dungeon. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I got magic. Magic potion, in fact. I want this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will want this. Right now, though, not sure. Possibly... Well, let's get out of this room first. First off, this teleporter right above me will take me back to the room I just came from. Instead, kind of want to go and blow this up. And this will take us to another key. Ow. That is why I didn't use the magic potion yet. Because I knew that would happen. Alright, these guys you want to be careful of because they can zap you if you time your sword poorly. And you never know when they're going to start shocking. Here, let's not even risk it. Then blow our way through here. That pit does not have a background, so don't follow into it because you'll take damage. And then we come to these guys. So the gimmick with these guys is they move around based on your own movements. Now, the green ones are actually pretty easy to take down, just shoot them with your arrow. But that guy is kind of an issue, because if he sees you, he shoots fire. So what you're going to kind of want to do here is trick him into running into your line of fire. Oh boy, there's a lot of cracked walls in here. Something I did in the last episode but didn't explain what I was doing is when you poke your sword at walls, if the wall can be bombed, it'll make a different sound. None of these walls are bombable though. Alright, this is where I'm going to kind of want magic. Make things easier for myself. I'm going to try the ether spell. Hopefully that'll kind of freeze things. Let's actually make our way up here and then use it now. Okay, good news is it killed a couple things, and it split apart the red one. I was hoping it would like freeze the red one, because now we got two little guys who are intent on zapping me. You know, I don't necessarily have to kill them, but I'm going to anyway, because I might drop something. Like a heart. That makes up for the damage I just took. Then we come to this room. Now, given these guys are floating, using a quick spell probably won't do very good. What happens if we try freezing them? It just splits them apart. So let's just use an ether spell. Actually, no. Finally found the map. Because I'm pretty sure if I kill them now and then come back into this room, they'll just respawn. Alright. Fairies. I just emptied a bottle, so it won't hurt to catch another fairy just in case. Also get some health back. Alright. This is useful. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, and in regards to the bombable wall situation, good thing I remembered before I blasted this other wall, but here's the difference. It's kind of obvious. Hopefully, those of you try that again. Hopefully, those of you who are watching in stereo sound. Because I'm on the left side of the screen, so all the sound effects are in the left speaker. If you're not hearing the left speaker, you're obviously not hearing what I was just talking about. Sucks to be you. Alright, this key will lead us to the boss, and sure enough, these guys just respawn. Got more money in the process, magic rather. Alright. And because I took the time to get the magic hammer first, we don't have to backtrack from here, we can just hop on down. And we are currently to the right of this room. Let's not hang around. Alright, there's going to be a button here, but the thing of it is, it's a pressure sensitive button. You get off and the door closes back up. So we'll just kind of push this statue on top of the button. That's an interesting puzzle mechanic, I gotta say. I mean, it's nothing new now, but back in the day, that was pretty inventive. Alright, the next room will have more of those other guys. Shall we try magic? Let's try killing them with magic. I mean, we got it. Might as well try it. No. And... no. Alright, you have to have arrows. It's a good thing they give you some arrows. But, I hate to be somebody whose accuracy completely sucks. And speaking of accuracy... aw. I hope you don't miss this. I totally could have dodged that thing. I knew it was going to be bouncing back, but I was slow to chase after it. Alright, got a dark room here. I already established that the only way to kill these guys is with the hammer, but of course we're going to have to play whack-a-mole, so it's not a problem. You can kill them, by the way, with the hammer once you flip them over. The problem is, if you're not accurate, you'll just flip them back over and they'll land on top of you and cause damage. Speaking on being on top of things, I want to show you something. And I failed to show you. Try that again. So I'm on top of these, kind of. Never mind. You can walk off, but you can't walk across them apparently. I feel like that would have worked in Link's Awakening on the Game Boy though. If that popped up while I was on it, I feel like I could have walked down them. Apparently not in this game. Quite possibly not in Link's Awakening. I could be completely mistaken. It's entirely possible and quite likely. Oh, hold on a sec. Traveling in the dark is hazardous to your health. I was hoping to dodge around these guys properly. Could light the torches. Why not? It doesn't cost much magic to light torches. No breakable walls? Alright, moving on. Cool. More torches to light, and I believe I was wrong. It's this one. And there's no breakable walls in here, I already know this for a fact. So, let us teleport our way to this room. And be careful, because there's going to be more of those turtle guys. This place might as well be called Turtle Rock. But that's a different Zelda dungeon. In case you're wondering, we are in that room with all the money. And at this point, I do believe we have explored the entirety of this dungeon. So now we move on to the boss. Already got the hammer equipped. The boss is not weak to any of this other stuff, I'm pretty sure. Although I haven't tried a bomb. Let me try a bomb. Also the bee. Also, we do not get new boss music. Okay, that didn't work. Prepare to dodge. That's dangerous. I'll hold off on Mr. B for the moment, because Mr. B could fly into that guy and I'll have no way to reach it. Don't want to lose the bee. So we'll go ahead and just... Okay, the sucky thing about this hammer is it has terrible range. But we have to get up close and personal to this guy in order to slash at his shield helmet and break it apart. This is basically a bigger variety of those little guys I was throwing skulls at, by the way. Yeah, this boss kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Oop. Watch out for the for his tail. As a side note, it would be cool to have a tail that was kind of like that. A giant stinger of a tail. Actually, it's more like a mace of a tail. Still kind of cool. A lot of dragons actually have tails like that. But my tail is just a typical raccoon tail. Alright, good bee. Can you do anything? No, and in fact, you're exactly where I was worried you would go. Worth it! So at this point, I'm pretty sure I can just slash him with my sword. Oh boy. Yeah, screw that noise. Let's use bow and arrows. Maybe it wasn't worth it. Nope. I'm gonna say it kind of wasn't worth it. Did I mention that boss sucks? And all the way back to the start of the dungeon. Oh gosh dang it. It took a lot of HP to try wearing that guy down. So these guys, you can't attack them from the front, you have to hit them from the side. Alright, well the good news is we got just enough magic. We can go in here. And get a fairy. Quickly before it touches me. Alright, cool. That's one fairy. Then we got the ones in here. And then there's that one. Wanted to dodge that thing. And one more bit of magic powder. So that I can be at full health. And with that, I gotta make my way back to the boss. Alright, let's try this again, but better. It's very unfortunate how this guy likes to charge forward, particularly on that last phase. If there's any indication he gives that he's gonna do it, I don't know what it is. I wonder if I was at full health, my energy beam would be able to take out this guy. For certain, we can hit the crystal on his head with an arrow. Oh, that's the bee. Oh, that was almost bad. Let's get the bow and arrow ready just in case. Nope. Full health, can't do a thing. Good thing we got plenty of arrows. Ah, there we go. That went much better. Aw, explodey tail was explodey. Grab this. Thank you. And we get a crystal. Alright. Thought we were looking for a maiden, but sure. Aw, look how happy he is. That's a new sprite. He didn't give that sprite when he was collecting pendants. Ooh, special effects. Link. Because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you! This world used to be the golden land where the Triforce was hidden. But because Ganon, the boss of thieves, wished it, the world was transformed. Ganon? Thought we were dealing with Aghanim. I'm sure he's intending to conquer even our light world after building his power here. Oh yeah, that's another reason why we kinda need to do this task of rescuing the maidens. Because if we didn't, well, Link's homeworld is kind of being filled up with more monsters ever since Aghanim had his way with Zelda. He is trying to open a larger gate between worlds near the castle using our powers. Oh, great! As if we weren't dealing with enough monsters. But the gate is not open completely yet. If we 7 maidens come together, we can break the barrier around Ganon's hiding place. I will tell you where the other girls are held. I believe you will destroy Ganon. Well, he's gotta be easier than Aghanim. When you do so, we will all be freed from his evil magic. And that was her telling us where the other maidens are located. Do you understand? Not at all. Link, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the— Hold on a sec, are you just repeating the exact thing that you told us before? You are! Hold on a sec, if I said I don't understand what you said, how is telling me the exact thing that you said before going to help me understand it? You need to clarify, not repeat yourself. Now, though, in all seriousness, yes, I do understand. I just had a point to make. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. And thanks for the restoration. And that's the end of that place. Can't help but notice, by the way, that she was completely unfazed by the fact that she was talking to a giant pink rabbit. I guess considering all she must have been through by this point, Big Pink Bunny is probably not all that special by comparison. Anyway, we got a crystal now. Any of you who were paying attention ever since we came to the Dark World probably noticed that our pennant menu was replaced with a crystals menu. And in fact, we are rescuing crystals, because the crystals are holding the maidens. And let's see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 crystals, meaning 7 dungeons. And we've only been through 5 at this point. In fact, now it's been 6. So 6 now and 6 more to go. We are only halfway through the game. I actually think that's pretty cool. No more monkey, by the way. But it's pretty cool because if you did not know about the whole going to the Dark World thing, you would probably assume that Aghanim is the final boss, and then you would defeat him and rescue Zelda, and that'd be the end of the game. Because, of course, you've already explored all of Hyrule Field in the Light World. What else could there be? Why, an evil version of Hyrule Field, that is, of course. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't think that I got to experience the reveal, though, originally. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already knew about the Dark World by the time I got around to playing this game, because the Dark World is pretty famous in regards to Zelda. Anyway, let's take a look at the map real quick. Yeah, we got a lot of dungeons to explore still. Now, even though these are all numbered, that doesn't mean we have to go through them in order. In fact, I think it's recommended that we go through them out of order, because I think one of the dungeons gives you an item that would actually be really useful in an earlier dungeon. I'm not sure which dungeons those are. I'm going to kind of want to look it up. Also, now that we have the magic hammer, we now have the ability to explore the Dark World version of Hyrule Field legitimately, without using a glitch. So, we can just hit these, and there we go. We got access to the rest of the Dark World. Or at least the lower half. Offhand, I can't remember if anything is blocking you from the upper half. Anyway, we're not going to explore the Dark World today. For one thing, we already kind of did part of that last time. For another, we're out of time. By the way, one unfortunate thing about the Dark World is, unlike the Light World, Link's home world, there is only one spawn point in the Dark World when you load a game. You always start from here, the Pyramid of Power. I think this is called the Pyramid of Power. For some reason, I'm thinking it's called the Pyramid of Power, so we're going to call it the Pyramid of Power. But yeah, this is the only place we load the game from, so that's kind of unfortunate. It means that anytime I load the game here, we're actually going to have to traverse all the way to wherever it is that I'm going. Good news is, eventually we're going to find a way to quick travel across the world. So, that'll at least help. For now, though, down at the bottom of the screen is all of my patrons, and next time, well, I guess we're just going to explore the Dark World for the time being. See what all has opened up, see what optional stuff is available. We won't go through a dungeon next time. We'll wait a couple episodes before we go to another dungeon. For now, though, we definitely got some exploration to do. Because that is what this game is good at. I'll see ya then.